Hey guys, it's Ernest, your real life coach. So, let's get started. In this video, I'm going to go over how to reset your life in 7 days, okay? So, the first thing that we have to do is look at your own life to see where you're at, okay? Anytime that, I've ever needed to go somewhere, look at it like a GPS, okay? If you want to get, maybe you're in Southern California, you want to get to New York, what do? You put it in your phone, right? You put in the GPS, and what's the very first thing that your GPS does, right? It doesn't start looking at New York at all. It locates where you're at, right? So it sees where you're at because it's going to start calculating how to get there. But how is it going to know unless it knows where you're at? And where you're at makes a big difference, right? Because if you're coming from SoCal or you're coming from, you know, I don't know, Louisiana, it's going to make arrangements, right? Make the changes. So you have to see where you're at first, right? And then it's gonna see where New York is, then it'll create a route. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing in your life. Okay, so I have two downloads for you guys. The first one is this one. It's called the Wheel of Life. Okay, so this is a nice little visual representation on what part of your life you want to work on, and so it's nicely color coded. And so download it, print it out, and my recommendation is, post it somewhere, right? In your restroom or maybe on like your a mirror, right? So you guys can see what you guys are going to work on. So it's going to go through health, work, family, friends, romance, sex, creativity, learning, finances, and spirit. So circle, you know, on a scale from 1 to 10 where that part of your life is. So for example, health, right? Let's just say that, you're a little overweight, you want to work on your weight, then you might be at a 5, right? You're right in the middle. It might be a 5 or 6, okay? If you're like obese and you really need to work on it and there's nothing else you should work on but that, then that number is going to probably be at 1 or 2, right? And so it just depends on your own life. So kind of put whatever you think it is. And not to pick on weight, but wherever you're at, feel comfortable because that's where you're at. But you can change that, right? Same thing with your money aspects. Wherever you're at, don't feel bad about it. It's just where you're at in life. And so we're gonna get you to where you want to be, right? And so circle that, and then what will happen is I like to color it personally. So then I color, everything from, like, let's say it's a 5, so 1 to 5, so it's nice and colored. Actually, let me. No, I can't. Normally on Zoom I can like color and stuff. But yeah, mark that. Do it with each one of them, and like I said, I would color it, and so you can kind of see where it look like a web, so you can kind of see which parts you should work on. Um, my recommendation is working on one or two, three max, but really focusing on it. It's hard to do everything all at once, right? And so whatever you want to work on, that's what you're gonna work on. Okay. So do that, and then the other download that I have for you guys is the life progress report. Now, normally in life, we don't have a progress report past school, right? In school, you kind of see where your grades are, and then you have that report, and then you share with your parents. But there's nothing after that, right? And so, going through reports, it actually helps. In businesses, it helps to go see, what you need to change. How do you know unless you look at a report on what's going on? And so this is you're going to be your life progress report. So in your life, go through it once a year. I normally do it in December. December's slower, especially in my career in business and real estate. People don't move in the winter, so I get to travel a little bit more. I can go cabin in the woods, in the mountains with snow, and just reflect and do this. Okay, so I recommend for you guys to do the same thing. But anytime really, just pick a month and do it. And you can do this as often as you want. You can do this once a quarter if you'd like. Okay, it's really set up that way. But with the life progress, under this physical and mental, it goes a little more into detail. So you're gonna put a number from 1 to 4 in this case. Number 1 is not yet within expectations. Number 2 is meets expectations at a beginner level. 3 is fully meets expectations, and then 4 is exceeds expectations. So within physical and mental, the first question is I am my ideal weight and size. So then you'll put how you feel, 1 to 4. I exercise daily and eat healthy foods, 1 to 4. How you're doing on that? I get enough sleep each night, 1 to 4. I stay calm in frustrated situations, and I feel confident in myself. So if you're working on it right now, you're gonna go on the now column and put those numbers, boom, boom, boom. And so you can kind of start seeing, okay, should I work on this area, should I not, or am I fine in this area? Okay, you might just need, on the mental side, or it might be just on the physical side. Who knows? Spiritual. Here's the questions. I live the life I want. I'm happy and satisfied with my life today. I visualize my success daily. I meditate and or pray daily, and I live a balanced life. Okay? So as you guys can see, I'm literally giving you guys almost tasks within these categories. So if you're not into meditation, I'm going to make another video on just meditation. But meditation is very powerful. Okay? Doing it correctly, of course. So that's the spiritual side. Education. I see challenges as opportunities to grow and learn. I seek out new learning and growth opportunities. I read good self-help books. I attend educational classes to better myself, and I learn from everyone I run into. So this is the education area. Social and fun. You want to be balanced, right? And so with social and fun, I feel comfortable meeting new people. I feel important in large group settings. I am genuine and sincere. I feel included and part of a community. And my life is fun, and I vacation regularly. So this is the social and fun. If there's any main areas that you need help with, the easiest way is to literally join VIP. And this is not a push to join VIP, but right there, you're literally going to come to music festivals and meet me there, and for us to go and socialize. So that's going to be the easiest way for me to help you with your confidence and meeting people and things like that. Okay, because it's a skill, right? And so with skills, it's just learnable, right? And I can share with you guys the books in each one of these areas, 2 or 3 books on which ones to get good at these things, right? Next one is financial. I make enough money to meet my needs. My business is where I want it to be. I leverage time effectively. I leverage people effectively, and I leverage money effectively. Okay, so that's the financial side. Relationships. I have fulfilling personal relationships. I am a good listener and communicate thoughts and feelings effectively. I spend quality time with friends. I spend quality time with family. And I have an active support system in my life. Very important. Next one, contribution. I uplift people emotionally whenever possible. I see others' points of views. I give what I can to people in need. I help and advise people who need it. And I contribute to people's lives by adding value. And the last section is time and play. Obviously everyone's favorite, right? I complete tasks on a timely basis. I'm a good estimator of time and money. I work on activities that are the highest and best use of my time. I have all the toys I want and need, and I live in the house of my dreams. So this is all of the sections, guys. So you kind of want to see where you're at, and the visual representation is the wheel. And then when you start focusing on this, one's set up on each quarter, so then the next quarter you've been working on it for 90 days, which is a good amount of time. You can lose a bunch of weight in 90 days. You can, add an income stream in 90 days. So each one of these, you'll see the difference, right? And so then you'll see your report card getting better and better in these areas that you want to work on. So hopefully you guys are liking this. This is how to reset your life literally in 7 days. The first thing, again, is seeing where you need to focus on and really getting clarity, which is the first thing in my tagline, is clarity. Getting clarity on really what you want and where you're at, more importantly. Okay? So in the next section, I'm going to go more into detail on this and start mapping everything out and start going into time management. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.